तंबी लेक्चर चलने माझं. Okay, where are others? Let them join.
Sir, some students are in offline also class.
Sorry?
Sir, some are in class also, I think.
Okay, let them be there, no problem. I have not shared material, no?
No, sir.
Yes, Atharva. No, I'm not coming. I'm just discussing about the mini projects. You can join online. Okay, so I'll share the material. Now I'm not able to convert to PDF, so that I'll share. We will be starting our tutorials. As far as assignment part of supply chain is concerned, we will be doing different assignments which will lead for a mini project, or you can say a project on supply chain management. In fact, instead of writing some theoretical part on because as far as supply chain management is concerned, this is management course, and many times the assignments are theoretical. So what I personally feel is that there is no much benefit or use of doing these theoretical assignments. So we will be doing some practical assignments where actual some work will be done. So I expect that we will be designing actual supply chain for any product. In yesterday's lecture, I have described the expectations about mini project. You can choose any domain for your project or mini project. You study the existing supply chains of these products. They may be industrial products or they may be FMCG product, or they may be the products for the current requirements of societies, like maybe transportation of your vaccines or whatever. You can consider any coal industry, you can consider energy industry, you can consider oil industry, you can consider mechanical industry or any FMCG products, or you can consider any distribution network, you can consider any distribution supply chain, like I'll come to that. So you can consider any distribution network or any supply chain which is only concerned with the distribution of the product. So whatever. Now, like maybe Swiggy or Amazon, or maybe you can consider now the some of the supply chains now which has uh, different outlets, or maybe KFC and anything. So first of all, while doing the supply chain or designing the supply chain, you just start from the beginning, whatever we have done. So you consider the vision statements of the organizations, you consider the mission statements of the organization, so that it will give you some guideline for designing the supply chain. As we have discussed enough, that supply chain is based on the supply chain strategies, and supply chain strategies are defined based on your competitive strategies. Competitive strategy is the outcome of your vision and mission statements. So these things now should be aligned. As we have seen in some cases, now the two case studies we have seen, if you consider the Walmart case study, and also we have considered or discussed about the 7-Eleven Japan case study. We have not discussed in detail, but we have seen what are their supply chain strategies or competitive strategies. If you see the competitive strategies or the objectives or missions of these two companies, then there is a big difference. The Walmart is giving more focus for the efficiencies of the supply chain, while on the other hand, 7-Eleven Japan is expecting the responsiveness at a bit more cost, but efficiency is also part of that. Now, if you consider some supply chains, like maybe if you consider the Starbucks, or the costly hotel chains, then the only objective of these organizations is the responsiveness. You can consider some of the car manufacturers who are manufacturing costly cars, or the higher segment cars. Then you can see their competitive strategy will be bit different than the competitive strategies of the automobile manufacturers who are manufacturing general vehicles, like maybe Maruti, you can say Honda, you can say, or even if you ship to then Honda, then you will see a slight different. If you go to Tata, again you will see a slight different. If you go to again Jaguar, now even if it is Tata Group, then the competitive strategy of the product which are manufactured in Jaguar and manufactured in Tata, they are different. So first of all, you see what are the objectives of these organizations. You study what are the vision statements, what are the mission statements. Most of the companies, you will also get their competitive strategies. Now all companies now they define their competitive strategies, and based upon that you study their supply chain strategies. That also might have been defined. If it is not defined, then you try to define, or even if it is defined, you just try to revise this, or try to give some proper shape for these supply chain strategies. You just look into that and see whether it suffices the requirement of alignment between the competitive strategy and supply chain strategy. It seems very easy, or it is very easy to understand how these strategies are, and what are they, and theoretically if we are reading it, then it seems that इसमें क्या है, कुछ कुछ तो नहीं है. But actually, when you will go for designing these strategies, or trying to align the competitive strategy with the supply chain strategy, then it will be some complications now that you will find. Then how to frame it, then how to define it. If you look at the responsiveness, then how much responsiveness are you expecting? If you go for the efficiencies, then what about responsiveness? So defining that into terms and aligning these strategies is also a good task, or which will be interesting task. So once you do that, we will be going as per the topics now which we have covered in into our syllabus. And then at the end, you will be designing some of the supply chains. So I'll just open the theory which we have considered. Or if you are using, okay, or if you are using this chapter, then chapter also you go the chapter wise, and then you will be getting what is to be done. So I'll just be giving some brief guidelines about the designing supply chain, or how you can start. First of all, you can decide what supply chain or what domain you will be interested to work in. So whatever now we have discussed, and different types of the industry. Then first of all, go to the vision statement, mission statement of this, and objectives of these organizations. So you find out now these objectives. Now in this case, now you nothing has to do anything. You have to just find out, search them, and just collect them. So that's all as far as now these vision, mission, and objective statements of the organizations are being considered. Then at one point now you will be finding what are the stages of supply chain. Then find their supply chain, and find out the stages of supply chain. In stages now, while defining supply chain, you try to find out how many raw material locations are there, or who are their raw material suppliers, then who are their suppliers, where are manufacturing plants. And so initial, all these stages now you define or show it on the map. If you are considering any supply chain of India, then you take the graph and try to locate now these on that chart, or the chart of India. And then they try to some arrows or some network. You can design them using some softwares. This will be possible. Now, so you will be designing supply chain stages. Then you design the decision pages now of supply chain. So in this case, now you just plan that what you will be doing of this supply chain. Then define your view of the supply chain. You then find out now what are the cyclic view of supply chain now you are designing. Now they find out now what are the views. Whether there is a customer order cycle, whether there is replenishment cycle, manufacturing cycle, replenishment cycle. You just make one chart which will explain these views of supply chain, so that now you will understand now how this is done. Another thing is that now whenever now you have designed or defined your total processes or systems of this supply chain, then divide them into pull processes and push processes. See how many are what is actually happening with the manufacturing. How many actual processes are in the pull system, and how many are actually in the push system. Now the next part of this is that now if you think some of the more processes can be pushed into pull system, or can be shifted to pull system, then as a general observation or our studies, that will help for increasing the responsiveness of the supply chain, isn't it? More the pull processes, it will increase your responsiveness. And so see that now how these pull processes now can be increased, so that your responsiveness, and maybe it also can be used to increase the efficiency if we are using or dividing these activities wisely. Then if you can find out now, find out what is supplier relationship management strategy of the organization, how is internal supply chain management and customer relationship management. That also you can define now from the supply chain whatever you have defined. Then about the flows of supply chain, define the flows of supply chain, how they are flowing. Okay, we have seen these are the five flows which are important for supply chain. Then product flows, financial flows, information flow, value flow, and on the on the stages of whatever supply chain, whatever you have defined in your supply chain. Okay. Then yes. After that, then come to the competitive strategy. So that will be your first part of the assignment. So I'll be putting this assignment maybe today or tomorrow. So what is to be done in what stages now this is to be done. So whatever we are discussing today, that I will divide into the assignments and I will put the assignments, and at the end now we will combine all these assignments, and we will be presenting these mini projects to the class. So some 1 or 2 weeks we will keep that, so that we'll finish all presentations. Okay. Then you come to the competitive strategy, then come to the supply chain strategy, and see that how they can be linked together, or how they can be fit together. So strategic fit will be another part of your supply chain. Okay, as far as first chapter is concerned, now this much is sufficient. Then coming to the second part, or whatever now we have studied till now. So okay, okay. Then we have studied the drivers of supply chain. Now coming to this part, what are the identify the drivers of your supply chain, whatever you have considered. Show this diagram, but this will be identical most of the cases. Then you find out what are the transportation modes used for the existing movement of materials. Then define what are the sourcing policies of the company. Define what are the pricing policies of the company. Okay. Then the next part is designing supply chain. Now, whenever now you are trying to design your supply chain, so you go for the things now which are important as far as the supply chain networks are being considered. So first of all, in that case now you need to identify where are your suppliers. You have to identify where are your plants. You have to identify are there any distribution centers. Then whatever is existing transportation or distribution networks that you have to identify, and then if possible now we will try to see whether that can be optimized. If you can plot these graphs on the for your case now you can plot it. This I have modified. There was some problem in one lecture. What is that? Actually, this is transportation cost. This is facilities cost. Actually, this facility cost graph is also like this, and inventory graph is like this. Not exactly as I have shown, but it is something like this. And so this is the total cost which is added to all the costs, and this graph comes like that. Okay. Then identify what type of shipments now you will be using. Okay. Will it be drop shipping, or will it be in transit merge? And if you are using these facilities, these ways of transportation, then identify that where will be your distribution center. If suppose you are saying that there is in transit merge center, then identify the location where you will be doing in transit merge, and select it wisely so that now that will be optimum uh, uh, location, so that now your cost can be minimized. Okay, so I think yeah, these charts also we have seen. So these charts will help you to decide now the which type of network will be applicable for your supply chain. Okay. So this probably I think up to this now the you can do, and further we will be finding then the best locations, and in coming few lectures we'll be studying how to decide the proper location for the plant. Then we can also design the proper location for distribution center. We can also design the proper location for dealers, or whatever you require for supply chain management. So that will be studying. So you can apply that for in your case. Then the next part now which we will be studying that will be forecasting about the products. We will be studying different modes of forecasting, and these forecasting modes you can use for designing supply chain. Okay, I'll be showing some of the examples of projects now which can be done, or which will help you to think. Many project is supposed to be group activity or individual. Yes, you can do it in the group, but my experience about the group functioning is not good. So it happens that now the some if you are making a group of suppose 4 persons, then two are always sleeping, two are sleeping, and two are acting. So then they also come to us and वो कंप्लेन करते हैं कि सर वो लोग कुछ नहीं करते हैं, and then we have to do all these things. So then these such type of problems come whenever we have a group of some 4 people. So I want that this group now should not be of more people. So you can form a group either of 2 people or 3 people, not more than that, and then you can start designing your activity. But even if now if the group is divided into suppose 3 members, that does not mean that as per the slides which you will be presenting, you should know only about that. Are you getting? So sometimes it happens that now somebody comes and who is not contributing, just introduction देके वो खत्म बोलता है, now my part is over. So don't do like that. Now it should be that anybody can explain anything. See, another reason for doing this and showing as a mini project is that will actually help you to find out the difficulties which actually comes whenever you are doing some work. Now, the courses like supply chain management or any course now which is related to the management, it is very it seems very easy to read, understand things, or write the papers, and this is a very easy part of for studying. But whenever implementation part comes, then probably this is the complex phenomena, because sometimes many conflicting decisions you need to take, and that decides how strong your decisions will be or could be for the progress of organizations. And so even if now you are getting very good CPIs, that does not mean that you will be the most successful person. It depends upon the experience. It depends upon the abilities to take decisions, or the attitudes to take the proper decisions. Understanding about the markets, understanding about the future change, and how strongly you consider the phenomena which are happening in the society on these designs. And so we get now the many cases now where big firms has failed about their production activities and everything. So even the consultants feel. So that does not mean that that was less studied, but it signifies that some of the uh, factors they would not have considered, and so it leads to that situation. So a group size of 2 to 3 people. Now the yes, it is accepted. So you just form the groups and let me know by tomorrow. Is it possible? Can you make the groups by tomorrow? Atharva?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Atharva, can you form the groups by tomorrow?
Okay, sir.
Okay, or if not possible, then maybe tomorrow is Thursday, right? So maybe by Friday, by Saturday, you form and share me the list of groups, but not more than three people in a group, right?
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. So that group formation and you will start. So then what were the queries? Then like Amazon is a customer centric company with central distribution channel. What Harshal, what do you mean? Harshal, I'm not getting your query. Okay, leave it. Okay, so that is what is expected. I'll now just show you some of the samples where or some of the projects which are done by previous students, but don't consider them as idle. But I'm just giving you some ideas so that you can get uh, this. You have to present it. So PPTs and this report now is required. This is one supply chain mini project was done by some student. Okay, Sanj has done that. So this is his report. Then they have defined what is supply chain. I think I'm sharing, no? Okay, I'm sharing. Okay. So this he has written that. Now these are the pulses. Now, he has studied about the pulses. He has studied about the consumption of the pulses, and then he has classified these pulses, and then he has considered the exports and imports, and yes, now here it starts design of supply chain. He has defined now the who are policy makers and what is the role of farmers, what are the consumers, who are consumers. Then he has identified some demand pattern cultivation pattern now uh, for these crops. Then he has yes identified the areas now which consume or produce the products. Then what is the supply chain? He has explained the supply chain here. Now the what is the role of APMC and aggregation, how they do. And then manufacturing process now he has explained. And then it comes to constructing networking design. Then he has designed some network now which supports to his supply chain. Then yes, he has also done the demand forecasting. He has taken the data of some of that. Now this chapter now they will be studying, so that now you will able to do that. So Holt's method he has used for doing the analysis. And yes, now this is actually demand forecast, and this is actually consumption pattern. So if you see this, now this is one part peak, this is another peak. So these are variations in the demand, maybe for some specific reasons. Now we need to analyze now this case study and why it happened. Now that we have to study. So these are because of the uncertainties. But if you see that now this is actually consumption pattern. This was now there to 2016. It was exactly matching, but later on then there are some fluctuations. And I think in most of the cases now since 2020 you will see a lot of variations now because of this COVID pandemic. This is what is the cost analysis now what he has done to find out the profits now which could be obtained now if this demand supply chain network, now whatever now he suggests now is being implemented. This was not the whole part of the supply chain, but I'm suggesting you to start from the vision, mission statement, then competitive strategy and supply chain strategy. So that part is important. So you concentrate on that, and then we will be doing the stage wise mini projects. So at the end now this will be finished. Okay, this is again another good case study which was done by Sheetal. This is. Yes, now she has identified some of what is this product she has considered. So, okay, this is for some biscuit company, FMCG. Okay, these are the areas where wheat is produced, which is raw material for biscuit companies. So these are the markets which she has identified. She has calculated some populations. Now they take the populations from live websites. Oh, I think government websites now they will be providing you data, so that should be accurate. Then she has identified the plant locations that maybe this maybe I don't know whether this is a which industry she has considered, but she has identified this all real locations. So these are the distances of these plants. Okay. Then I think she has used these locations for designing some distribution center. Oh, sorry. Okay. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then she has considered some distances. Then she has defined distances from the suppliers are identified. Transportation modes are defined. Then forecasting is done for the products and some analysis of the routes, mapping of the chains of how the there will be the product flows and information flows she has shown. Then profit margins she has identified by considering the transportation modes. Value addition pie chart she has shown, and then profit from the agencies and what are these importances of what I don't remember now. So this she has identified some method by which now the profit uh, of this amount now we can be obtained. So this is one of the mini projects. Then this is another project mini project. Now I have identified some different presentations so that now we will get some clues for designing our supply chain. So this is for mango fruity. This is okay. This is traditional concept of supply chain. Then locations they are identified. Then markets they are identified. Then they have identified the yes. Now the distribution center they have identified. This X dash Y dash will be the geographical location of the mm, plant. Okay, and I think this is identified that it should be near Delhi. So it shows the location which will be near to Delhi. So you can again now we decide exact location depending upon where are land availabilities, what are the affordabilities of the land cost, and all these factors now they will come. That does not mean that if it is giving X and Y coordinates, it should be exactly at that location, but it should be near to that. So Delhi, if it is showing that now it should be near to Delhi, so Delhi में जाके जगह availability कहाँ होगी उसके ऊपर you can take the decision. So this is what I think forecasting is done. Then demand forecasting. Okay, deseasonalized demand they have done. Seasonal fluctuations they have removed from this. Now this is the transportation of the products now which are considered in the supply chain are defined. Okay. Now this is another supply chain which is again okay. So this is for some engineering products. So this is for the supply chain for the pumps, then different parts and manufacturing. It is not required. So you cannot do that. Location of manufacturing plant they have identified. Then it is shown on the graph. Then supplier selection. Now the how supplier selection is done. Who are their suppliers? Now that is being identified. Then outsourcing. This is by decision. So make and buy हमने जो बोला था. So that is by decision. They have identified the partners for outsourcing, then locations for warehousing, then okay, so these are all locations. They have shown it on the charts. Okay, this is the network design which they have designed, and these are solutions only for finding warehouse location. I think they have identified. I don't know what they might have used some software or maybe designed some mm, windows. Then these are demand forecastings are done. This is the graph, then distribution, then pricing is decided, and these are references. So this is one. Then another one is for the supply chain of the laptop bag with external USB build. So again, see the data is collected and done. Some work is done, and see these were all individual projects. So not much part is that. But what I am expecting now since now there are more people in a group, now you start from the vision, mission, then competitive strategy and supply chain strategy. So that part also you consider in your mini projects. See, there are many projects now. You will be getting a lot of information. Even some presentations are available, but don't download these presentations and show it. So last time, Nadi, I have seen the plagiarism of these reports, and I was shocked to see the plagiarism. So those reports who are having very high plagiarism, or as usual, now the जैसे ही copy करके some presentations download करके यहाँ पे दिखाए. Now I have not now that time I have not considered now these presentations, and I have given 0 marks to these assignments. So don't do that. Try to do it. Now we will be facing lot many problems, and that is actually fun in learning such type of courses. Otherwise, if you are reading any supply chain book, that will be very easy to understand, and if you are implementing it, then that will be a problem. So just implement, do it. Just like project based learning we will be doing at. See, all these things now the students have done. They have designed on their own. Okay. This is predictive curve for corona. I think this is Nikita, na? Yes, Nikita. This is good project Nikita has done. She has shown a lot of interest and really nice case study. She has studied and presented. She has considered now the all assumptions, then objectives she has defined, then introduced many things, strategy she has defined, stages now she has defined. Now this is she has done lot many things, and then distributors she has identified, then retailers and customers now she has identified, and this was new topic. The that time it was the hot topic, or lot many challenges were there as far as the distribution of vaccines were considered, and during that period now she has studied. So she has collected lot of data and done this nice work. So this is again whatever she has defined, designed, and these are the predictive curves. Now she has not predicted, but she has uh, used some reference, and all these references only she has mentioned. Okay. Okay, that was a time when just now the government was finding the locations for uh, deciding the places now where these vaccines can be stored. Okay, then this is next one, which is mm, for okay. This is for Samsung, I think mobiles or some product. Then these flows are defined. Then the yeah, manufacturing plants. Now this is here shown now the nicely manufacturing plants, then suppliers, then warehouses, then showrooms. Now the here shown. Okay. Then transportation distances. Now the he has measured. Now these distances are measured on geographical areas. These are the modes of transports are defined. Now the where Mumbai से पुणे तक टेम्पो से जाएगा. Mumbai to Nasik, he will be using travels only for movement of the material. From Mumbai to Beat, truck will be same. Mumbai to Sholapur, train will go. Then Jalna again train will go. Nanded train will go. And so likewise, now all these transportation modes are defined. Now, once you define that, there are a lot many things on this. See, it has to improve. And so once you are designing this, then the management's duty is to just optimize it on daily basis. So okay, so lot many things done by students. Then this is one more which I wanted to share. This is Sundaram notebooks supply chain. Okay, so these are the products with sorry, this is raw material. Then these are the requirements. Then yes, geographical locations. Now the where are plants, where are users, where are warehouses. This is locations of markets. Okay, he has identified markets, and see, you'll see the markets now the in different segments. So you can decide what could be the optimum place now the where you can have warehouse. You can have warehouse somewhere here so that now it can provide the material to Nasik, to Pune, and also this is to what Nanded. Or you can have it somewhere here so that this Kolhapur also can be covered. Or again, now you can design now this some part now the which will cover. You have to decide this. There are also some statistical tools now the which can be used uh, for defining or designing these places. This is what is supply chain. Then he has studied some supply chain demand forecasting and demand management, forward demand for the demand forecasting he has done. Then it is plotted. Then he has also shown the different locations. Good. And this is one more which I just wanted to share with you. This is the project of Volkswagen Vento car, which was done by Saurav Sappan. Yes, this is also a good project he has done. So he has identified now the all these locations. In introduction about Volkswagen, what they produce, then where are their plants and what are their geographical areas. Then all information is given. Major market locations: Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane, Pune, Satar, and Sangli. So these he has considered in some Kolhapur, Nasik, Dhule, Aurangabad, Damda, Ahmednagar, and Nagpur. So he has considered the all major markets for in Maharashtra for this Volkswagen car. Then gravity method he has used for finding the location. Okay, so based on his gravity car, now he has got some location. Warehouse location should be near what is that now the Ambedkar Chowk, Nasik, Pune Highway, Chakan. So this is area now where this warehouse should be there so that now your transportation cost will be optimum. Then he has done demand forecasting and then okay that's I think the end. Then he has designed supply chain network. Yes. So these are some projects on the which will give you some idea about the way in which these many projects can be done. But what I suggest now you start just now the finding about the domain in which you can design this supply chain. Then start identifying or finding their vision statements, mission statements, and then competitive strategies, and then we can think how these competitive strategies further can be used to design the supply chain strategy. Or on the other hand, you can also consider one of the supply chains, and then we can optimize that supply chain. If they are using some network, then we can show them that if some existing supply chain है, suppose किसी का उसके मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट्स आपको मालूम है, देन उनके सेंट्रल वेयर हाउस लोकेशंस नदी आपको मालूम है, तो यू कैन use these mathematical tools. You can find out the new location, and we can suggest them that now if these locations we are using, then it will be helping us for reducing our transportation costs or whatever. We can also find out that now if some companies are now using some additional strategic locations, how it can help them to improve the efficiencies of the supply chains, or maybe responsiveness of the supply chain. It may also you can analyze the complaint status from the consumers, and so that can give you some idea about the requirements of customers to have some new locations of supply chain. Okay, now yes, any doubts? I think I have told that you make a group, but I will recommend that you go for group of 2 people, not even 3 people. Otherwise, no sub problem हो जाएगा. अच्छा, हर्षल क्या बोल रहा है? Like Amazon is a customer centric company with central distribution. Okay, yes. This is their competitive strategy. Yes. Yes, any doubts? Arya? Athava, you are in class, no?
Yes, sir.
How many are there?
8 of us.
Okay. Okay, any doubts?
No, sir.
And it will be better now if you are considering some maybe current issues, now if you are considering like COVID is now the really good issue, and people have also presented now the lot many materials and papers now on these COVID. Actually, Nikita has done nice work. We were about to present submit it somewhere, but my observation is that now once you complete your degrees, so you prepare till that, and once you get some your degree in hand or exams are over, you just disappear. But for publication, it needs some time. You can publish in some conferences, but for that also you should know some conference which will be uh, which is scheduled in that time, or for journals it takes a very long time. So that is not advisable, but we can present some good case studies in conferences. So if you want to publish, then you can parallelly write a paper, research paper. You can publish that, and you can also visit the locations and present it. Nowadays, the many conferences are online, so you can present it here, or if you want to go offline, then you can. I think institute also provides some funds for presenting papers, so you can take the benefit of that facility offered by the institute. Okay, so I'll be now sharing you my presentations and the book copy, so that book which it will help you and it will give you some guidelines, and the guideline document also I will share with you. Okay, then another thing is that now in this tutorial part, you will be working on this. We will be discussing if you have any issues now whenever you actually start. or we can start discussing on various activities. Or if you have vision, mission, and if you have objectives, then if you have designed your competitive strategy and supply chain strategy, then you can present that part. We can discuss on that. So that will be actually learning part. Then how to do that, or what will be effect of the specific supply chain strategies now be in accordance now be with your competitive strategy. So that could be done. So that will be our part as far as this tutorials are concerned. Then another part now, the when you will be doing this forecasting, then my project group, Ritvik, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so he's working on the forecasting and some other aspects, and using some AI ML for forecasting. I don't know whether we will be getting some positive results. Whether these forecasts now they will be more precise. The main problem of all these forecasting approaches is that they have some error, and always the industries or professionals need to have some options now which can produce the less or more accurate results. And so if we are getting some better results, then we can recommend that for some for some industries that we can use that. But even there is subjectivity. If you consider the AI and ML, then again now it predicts the things now the based upon how you are getting the data. So if the data are more precise, obviously the results will be precise. So it does not it will not be so easily accepted if you are claiming that now this our AI approach now gives you accurate results. Again, we have to see that what is the impact of data on the accuracy of the result. So there are two parts. One is analytical part, or your programming, and another is data availability. So we have to find some way by which we can identify the impact of data availability as well as the coding on the results. So it is again long term, but at least we will do something. So in after your MST, till that now if we complete the forecastings, then we will be using them. But after that, Ritvik will guide us to get some information and to convert that information, and how that AI ML can be done. So these people are there. Are also some other people now who has done some forecasting parts, and AI ML also they have used initially during their uh, internships. So they will also be helping us. So that also part now which we can do in our tutorial. So I think if we learn to use these new tools for forecasting, predicting data, that could be added advantage. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Yeah, I'll be taking attendance, and then we can leave. Today is what, 23rd, no? Karthik,
Yes, sir.
Srikanth,
Yes, sir.
Aditya, Monish,
Yes, sir. Manish.
Rakesh,
Present, sir.
Sarthak, Gurpreet,
Yes, sir.
Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
Vedant,
Yes, sir.
Kumar,
Yes, sir.
Ali,
Yes, sir.
Nikhil,
Yes, sir.
Harshal,
Yes, sir.
Desh,
Yes, sir.
Javeer Singh,
Yes, sir.
ये क्या हो गया इसको नंबर है मृत्युंजय
Yes, sir.
सॉरी मृत्युंजय रवि रवि देसाई
Yes, sir.
अफुल
Yes, sir.
सागर वेंकटेश
Yes, sir.
सूरज
Yes, sir.
ऋतिक
Yes, sir.
जयंत शुभम अर्णव अथर्वा श्रेयस
Yes, sir. I'm there, sir. Arnav is there. Sir, Ritik Jain, I am offline, sir.
who is that
Sir, Ritik Jain offline.
okay that I will mark later on okay no problem Jayant okay Shubham Arnav
Sir, I'm there offline.
Arnav no
Yes, sir.
okay Shreyas
Present, sir.
Shlok
Present, sir.
Jay
Present, sir.
Vishwajit
Yes,
Moni
sir.
Moni is there Harsh
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Adesh
Yes, sir.
Tanmay
Yes, sir.
Rahul
Sir.
Chaitanya
Hello, sir.
Present, sir.
Sir, Monel offline.
yeah I'll update it later because ये फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगा इधर राहिल
Yes, sir. Present.
आयुष कौस्तुभ
Present, sir.
अरबाज राजीव